course. Honorable, you're watching.
So bro.
You're more official panso.
A fee in commentary of a passo.
Emma Utrim Qua. Emma Wawodapa, and Rane Wawoda, inti, yes, young coupon who are dining quatintin, and so at the amount. Young coupon shop,
some of them must be
Omo Kumaswadin and so emblem. And as a birthday, Nukoye, and I would Nina de Juma.
Oh, at the Panama, me Jamaica Crana, and Yumreno, Yere, and Nebusian for Cacrebi, Ebaye, and Yadofo, Cacrebi Befi. You did a home como. Most of them know me. In party free. Okay. Omo no pese mo no be din komo. Ono be din komo no me ade na me say what about transit. Di omo mba so many be din komo. Ye transit na. Idi e ho komo a e de nyame ase na ekeka ya no kakra. Ba na nye ade mu waso bia.
Okay. Yenhwe contest. Ye no bon komo ansa na mo ko contest yi. Onana oye National Campaign Coordinator Adema Dr. Mamudu Bawumia. You know abono ho enkomo ewo ha. Owe contest no said yi si koye Saturday. Results are epie ewo contest num. Eko ne drum rebi na ese hit na ekosoro. Binum kura kan se contest no enkoduru awia mu ho ba bi ne moja ahwie agukuru ma se no na nya agro owe candidates ano mo kan Dr. Mamudu Bawumia ho mo ho den Honorable Kennedy Agyapong Dr. Bryan Acheampong ne nkrofo na edi wo mo chia were you surprised at the results?
Oh Debbie me yemu anhihimi ana say antuma koma se ne si ba ye no di kan na wo kam je hwegu asem de na mi nyini se bibisa abesi bibisa na minim se ensie ne se ye ne prosifo letter commissioner for ne prosifo no ehia ya ye di ehon komo no Inspector General of Police dano ono aba ya so ye ema ye ne omuhia ye no wo hye ebo say baby I beto abano in the almost 300 police stations are near to abano. There were 276 police stations and na your headquarters and so it's a 277 the constituencies no e be oha na omobro 1000 like I said they are breaking onto 2 police stations. And until the man be over just over 300 no. Enti omoshe yembo ebo ya no ho ba say. Baby we to baby ya no. Omo dey approach for eduoson 70 policemen ebeba ho. That was inspiring. Mpenezi abo no de hu na tenebon. Enti enunti no na menim say adeboni bi ensi. Se no obi abore trimpo so de basa eba nso a ni pakro no hunu sa de na ontimi nkoye sa de no cause oba as we normally see amon koye basa no we be amba mo pick up mu ba ko na mbi nu ni pa se ne be komu ba be 10 but oba na so be police for 70 e wo ho so ontimi sa de no nti na me ware hwemu se be boni bi ensi na me de mestre ne say of course numbers no are involved near huge 70 times almost 300 no 300 crown ponua na say o kako about 2100 mewa until what 2100 ebe to aba ebe hwa abato so a eye can we do that in abato nankasa the main election and the bayading because police stations in the doors we are looking at over 40,000 polling stations. Nti eno de na yedin but I will propose say betimi aye possible. Normally nobody process for be in a course station yeah. If it is possible let's say the process for be do ebekwa. It will scare people. Be and me nse mu bia. Because we know we did say police do no more deploy omo no e ka ho na And then when we went to some places, we say police for no nyina dodo no an kitetu. But one or two be kitetu. So be is through it to asem. And this is sanema no it me replicate your general elections. Me ne basa eba no. Ebetwa so. Na wo bisa say me yam hye me no. Me yam anhye me. Esan say bien ekoto aba no. Ni bia hoden. Ni ma hoden pa if I say we constituency by constituency, electoral area by electoral area, polling station by polling station, the whole country no. Na yen krofo ameto Obama Dr. Bawumia. Enipa ebi enka no kre. Enti yes, obaye bibia wi no. We find say okay, plus or minus 5% be. What you say? Enti yen nationwide you know. Na mayen about 65%. 65%, no. That is average. Yeah. National average, no, na my base 65%. Then you are looking at say they do get it right. Nipani mina beto abama. So there are some places that be beto abama brosa. Ebi onso nipa bi bo mutim po say oh yanko dada wo mo. So nti se ofana say 65, 64, 65 and na MIA no. Then you realize say maybe utie ya plus or minus 5%, bit be could be a 68%, 69% cry. Utie ye so bit matia ba from aba be 60%, 61%. Nti e ba ya na ya ko below 60% no. E hona ye me na kakra. But I see it also tells you ahode a Bryan Acheampong de bobore mu. Yeah. E ma ono no de na yesu se obenya no. Say maybe around what's a post na man be 2%, 3% be. Yeah. Yen de ni nim say obetumi nya be between 6 and 8%. But when you are more than that, yeah. I just say plus 10% be class and mechanical. Where did you get it from? So if you had just say yen be 4% be for you. No go yi about 10% if you be before. Na me can say the last time I minimum buyer be share na me can say people were saying say Ken was going to register a strong second. Post ni bi say obenya say bi nim crowd make us obewene. Yeah. Na me dey na me embassy because I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know where it was coming from.
Because him say Ken own could do surface.
When I met when I came, I don't know say minimum ne kasa ya. But be by Kumasi 4 days before I bet to Abano. Because baby say he was never going to be able to get 25%. Because you see, the previous time, the percentage now, a lot of people are now more support to Alan.
2023.
2023. Mode Ebufu, Alan pulling out a support. What you see? And then he say he harvested from Nipa Mobofu, Titru, Bibria Mobofu. The government nande was so samre no. So what I say. Ti na me say and near position entisa no. E depend be crazy o Akufo-Addo support no nti Akufo-Addo support no dey ento abadama no. What I say. E wa ban mu no. And near mu hu say anase bia mu duedue mu no mu hu say entisa no. Then kundi go kasa say ni bi ento papa to so. What I say. Nti na me say Ken in particular no. He was never going to be able to garner 25%. And indeed and in truth, no. When ya, what you say? It said you okay. Me nye surprise. We be an idea no. A shock we make a cry was Bryan Acheampong ni unyai. Sena make us na yeah put on around be 8%. Na I say unti more than 10%. But he climbed up. And it or no dear na wakakra. Say niya utiminya utiminya sa. However, general picture na day ni see na enyemi because we had worked extremely hard na ye said the no region by region, constituency by constituency, electoral area by electoral area, police station by police station. Me ye friend profiling. Ye nem prensa. Yeah, no prensa. And that is why we're confident. Say,
what about about the percentage, Dr. Mamudu Bawumia Enyae? That's the 56%. 2023 onya 61%. Nenka ukrofo GD say bi anka obetimi akọ amanabro sa abri ya mo abo position said the woka no sa ansensem a yeka to no so nyina na yabehu say enye no kro nenka ne percentage betimi increase more than this.
Well, a few things. First of all, yenya Dr. Bawumia the campaign no kre ya sha sentem. E ma kwan ma nipa ni bi e di animu echo occupy space no. Because can say me to be trim ne say wo ko yefi mu so na edin. Anka is starting them with Kumasi and maybe a beye wo Kumasi say be start here. Unfortunately, in twice one I was in Gekono. And if any be a kaya say yen so answer. I didn't believe in that because then Bruni Kano was the early bird catches the worm. And let me say yen but if any be any man yagin or yen to a boss yen we answer you answer. You buy na ma anybody be dealing. That's number one. Number two, let's face it. And you're doing any our castle on and you are no me in particular. Yeah, can Agyapong any Bryan any bay mood this time no. Now no she 2023.
Yeah. 2023 two horse race between One Kennedy Agyapong.
Right. Now I know shit this time change 2023 no. Such as say because any yes you ma kwa mo be di animu. Nti the combination of sa ni me no and a ma vote to the bar from Kakra. Especially because no. But it wasn't bad. But then you say, so we had the spread of constituencies Dr. Bawumia winning this time, or winning many more constituencies this time than he did in 2023.
Okay.
Constituencies now winning this time. No, they don't 2023 in a day. It means that many more constituencies, but nasi. So, the Bryan factor, any giddy and also the babe, no, a cajon, send a macano, and a ma, yen vote no, so take Accra.
Okay.
But that we won decisively is beyond doubt. Because we can't, any pan nine cano votes Bawumia, and do the Bawumia.
Yeah.
What kind of pan nine votes Bawumia, and do the Bawumia. What it tells us that still, support within the rank and file of NPP. You shall see your name constituency executives, the chairman, the first, second vice chairs, secretaries, no more deputies, organizers, no more deputies, women organizers, no more deputies, youth organizers, no more deputies, Nasara coordinators, no more deputies, financial secretaries, treasurers. Yene omo esheshia yeno. Do no a kire se mo support Dr. Bawumia no. Na bi ni mo ka se oh, na omo mo yesen. Within the party mo number be 4,000 pe. Na grassroots for no support ni pa foforo. Grassroots for no eno ne police station executives meboa. Ene say na no yekoto abeya overwhelming majority dey ma Dr. Mamudu Bawumia no. Afi ekwa no. Some of the people are no more can say grassroots support and support Dr. Bawumia. Afi grassroots for no moment year declaration no. Afi they come by and say why mudi grassroots for no and support and support Dr. Bawumia. Na monko kejiti yanko he. Monko ju monko he. Monko ka kwa ho. Monko ka kwa ho monko Ghana podo do no we hifa. Ghana podo do no a omo police station no mo titi jom. No more na ye adwuma wojom. No more na ye be mate, be drivers. What I say? If you're talking about the grassroots people, is that those people are at the base level. But minya and watch him.
but no twemu the old bobu suye about said the old kase Ghana for the 9 to Abama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia bra na all copper flag no encrophobic break as asem ne ethnic group but be crowd free first contest when performance are 41.7%. BC regions crowd free muno omo antoaba no amfa no that is the northern region. Ebinum so ejidi say ne performance wonya yi nti be ye den say Ghana for betimi atoaba man. After the contest, how are you going to deal with Sani Mawi?
Oh, the can say and someone any penny break no. It was not backed by facts. It was not backed by facts. As any penny be omo mutima no maka masem. Say oye ceremony nti na oye kremoni nti ena inipa nkoto aba ene kwasem say aba yeto no 2020 no omo moto aba maaye ebesi 2024 no aba yeto ye no omo moto aba maaye no omo so te by 2.1 million omo koto aba maaye President Mahama udi nkonim otwa yen otwa Dr. Bawumia with 1.7 million votes. So na omo no mo kase wo yesremuni ye kremuni nti na manfo anto aba amaye no se na make no omo ni basis bia enhwemu bia ni wa e kire sa menua enure ya ekoto abai ye nipa num na omo no ekoto aba no nipa num no omo no ekoto aba no na omo ekoto aba no enan no omo ye Christopher na nan ye Christopher ono kwa na ye kremoni na yen NPP for no se mpese kremoni bedi animu a eni den krofo se nipa ni bia nkoto aba anka nipa num nke beto aba ma no 2023 no ye koto aba no so nipa du ne be pre o na mu nkono ye Christopher ono kwa na ye kremoni the NPP for say mpese kremoni bedi animu nke ba koto aba no amana samre no and say asa be what it means is that the nipa no more kano enye no kre e bosirem kansem nya obi o ka biu say ebinim say zongofo ni nkremofo ametwa ba ma no so na enye no kre na enye ne say za wo hwe abato miensa na yato 2016 ayetwa ba ma na nadu dankwa kufu ado be president 2020 ema yeto ana na dodanko akufado na ban so na ode be 2024 no a adota manwu Bawumia ba ya wo hwe ye performance wo zongo communities no so obehu say 2016 ne 2020 no na ye performance ye nam 20% 30%. What you say? In fact averagely the kwane nimbi no kabomu a 26%. 2024 ya by koto yen wo kohwe figures na national average of our performance in the Zogo communities no 40%. Angel 40% against the background said your can say 2.1 million people are metwa ba mayen on 2020 no on metwa ba mayen to say 2.1 million on metwa ba no kra mayen say 2.1 million ebi was Zogo communities no nigamo to aba na mayen ka bo say this time around no ka 40% nimbo yenya no maybe nke bekosoro amia konye bia 42-43% kra under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ndio ma no mo kase went me amfa zongo bus amano na resource no kra mo hwe ena na mbo mutirim kasa asem no sani amo kase ebinom sese o ena ninu anom esrem horo kra no ono an nkrofo anto aba amano no so again na nya no kra eno kra nya ne sei enia abaye toyi 2024 no regions wo Ghana ayedunsia no emu edunum votes a yenya na 2020 no 2024 no o ma yensa votes no e votes no sote Ashanti region hasi so hwe votes a yenya 2020 a 2024 no votes yenya no esote by mpem mpema hanan eduasa 430,000 and to Abamai. Greater Accra about 570,000. The Greater Accra ne Ashanti region me no ye votes no so by 1 million. regions ni nyina we call western region esote by about 250,000 220,000 oba eastern region no eastern region 220,000 western region was about 180,000 regions ni nyina what you say even the 5 northern regions o kabomwa esote but region baako 1 out of 16 regions are only the next one tier northeast region I don't about me free omunya 2020 die no and I'm saying increase here by 20,000 and be due so what you say all other regions say the Acheampong region yeah the sote the northeast region no kwa na omode sote and the anya no krese say the grofo kan say oni krom fo nto abama no ni krom ankasa so ne wale constituency wale constituency no is the constituency 276 constituencies no eno na constituencies no the omunya no 2020 what they call 2024 no bebre de esote no wale constituency a car one of 13 constituencies the whole Ghana omode emutibenya 2020 results no na emunya 2024 no kra emupagyae na abehwe yebepagya no yebepagya be 1% 1.2% 1.5% wale constituency increase their votes by 25%. 25 unprecedented the whole Ghana no will be increasing the votes and to say is an crop for and Trabama no just a would background one results no obo team na waka wasem what I say this answer no na and also so enye no kre and they be said ya waka and say the percentage unya said na enye encouraging be says the worst performance again and also enye no kre Bawumia 2024 no obey presidential candidate no that was the first time I know contest he won 41.7%. But who call ye chia? Part no kwa chia 1992 Professor Dubois ebedi enimu a obegina ye no. Dubois etwa no wie no anya 30%. Wo mu se party no agi hu achenye se votes na electoral commission na dia ma ye no. Anya ne nya ye. Ene ma ye course ko stolen verdict. But the stolen verdict didn't give us figure and our percentage and it names yenya. And then my course one yen no ye giri say e ma ye vote no say you know any identify. What you say? Nti edubo hin 30%. President Kufuor ne ba 1996. Ono so first time. Ono unya 39%. And Bawumia benya 41.7%. They say what say ono no de no is the worst. Ona anya de kura enya no kresa what you say
sure
e bi se o de Kufuor do nya ye no ne de na drop dodo ntina e mam ka say it was the worst performance and also enya no kre I mean can be nchiro when President Kufuor had 39% in 1996 no Rollins Samuel when 97%. That was 1996 and Rollins if you homa President Mills any President Kufuor be contested 2000. The decisive elections, second round, no. President Mills, unya 43 point something %. From 57 now, President Ron is against Kufuor. No. What you say? Odobe so no, a string by 43%. What you say? And yet, and this is for no a vice president. Say na Bawumia vice president due. 143% ne 41.7, which is almost 42%. It's also even a dantemu. Mills impo call against Kufuor in 2004. No, he only increased by 1%. We are 44%. But then you know, and this is for Antonio Junior. One man so, and we could to me no a brewomo. Mills and so sorry, John Mahama so the same thing. A certain president here, Kufuor will be beaten by over 1 million votes. Certain president will be trying by over 1 million votes. What you say? And this is for Antonio Junior. They repeated him. And also, Anyeyi, that was 2020 elections, Anyeyi, and the bar, 2024 abe winning. You see, Nyankrofo Castle when the performance no is the West no. Again, one analyze here. And you know Cressa.
Okay.
And you know Cressa.
Okay.
And Tizama Mokeka, you know na where just 7 regions and is the West. President Kufuor in 1996. So here present configuration of if anything Ghana into regions na my 16 regions. I mean 10 regions. My 16 regions. I can be say Kufuor the first attempt, you know, he 8 regions be how wenya nke wonya vote ho. What you say? Kufuor the same thing. Kufuor so I think President Kufuor, even when he was a sitting president in 2004, no, about 8 regions wenya. Kufuor so the same thing. 2008, 2012, 2016. Even when we won. Until Sahasaban Microphone no cano, Nanya Kre.
Okay.
Until I make say many of them no na say data no omu but atoba na wi. Ni obi aka ye bia no. Say we ka say mpenipo say ofifi ifuni pia uhunu nsaman. But we should also learn from Sansem ne course so ananya no kre no. Maybe in future also part no strong regulations. No more determining the terms of engagement. Oko bo and toa. Asma was all can ye. Who when this wadi who ni be also what they call. Yes, I will attack you be. But I say, yes, at the year and the Sakasaka Kraba party emwa. If ye na see a king hoboma. But here na a pipi creba. But I say, okay, yes, whom printing ye queen moon or say to Mr. any memo.
Meba in Kabul, but dear ye can see me say what to be say bra party ni Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia more opponents the NDC for the donor so when you own your campaign crab be me say obetness you say me ball mama yarga leader of government business or parliament or can say oh Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or Medina Banede we can beat him any day into who he Accra say omo be ha omo bebre sa would you say then who ni through na omo e cancer de cancer na
menia be a because I say on taking lessons from history. No money team na any day. When we beat John Mahama by 1 million votes, a certain president even see that and your vice president too and your Mills and yet Bawumia a certain president they be channeled by 1 million votes. And my team here in the near future John Mahama, ya prodigy 2 elections into the defeated the man. No? He has come to claim the seat again. What I say? Inti Zasemno Zema Yeni. Of course, that is not to underrate NDC. Also, ye me nebre ye hu ye adwuma nia omo ken say na omo nsro Bawumia na in the lead up to elections no now they were not talking about say Bawumia IABB but they were openly canvassing for one of the contestants I didn't hear na omo nka say Bawumia ombetimi beating easily ntima NPP for Ntwabamano. They were canvassing on agents and their assigns were openly canvassing for one of the contestants.
And this in person Mubeyi Dr. Bawumia. Absolutely.
So what is with me a bit there? I don't know no nekobo match. Now person wona obeyi goalkeeper my. What does it? What people say friends Barcelona ne Real Madrid kobo match. Na omaka say Madrid for say no Basa goalkeeper mama fanema and as a mama Messi emubi
na wasan oba e be she
oba was e be she mubi brintino mama fanema what be pay one be she be choose a goalkeeper my and be choose a striker my just one house rope what you say but yeah me team nye ende I was say yeah jumaden because we all recognize say and this from the t akonya no so never be bria omugina so e ma Ghana for Antwaba amaye no amba he no omuntimi ye That is what we should, tackle them on. What you say? They say, what can be is na when they see the $1 and interest rate buffer and so and so. And the other sectoral development go to the various sectors. Energy then is your acquire then is your and the Kumasi Accra road is almost impassable. Only choice into what's offer so many sections now say oh kwa now all drive on the road shoulder. Minim so ako and can say also female road no so na shoulder na say on our old driver also the kaifa almost impassable after 1 year. You're not doing anything about it. What's over here super highway
expressway.
Asa, I don't know if you interrogate it why would you do that? Yeah, a kwano so yes na traffic aba nkroni biso. And Koko was the first. And a Kofo obi a quantity fetchery. Obi divert quano. And they would do traffic be any. And ne and yinem traffic no a hadrin or and ne konongo traffic no ha a hadrin or kibi na a hadrin or and some woman hadrin when a Kofo divertify and so much divertify. KBH befa pedwa ekosi Bunsu junction sad diversions na mema ebe straight in kwa na ma ekwan wodi time wodi kwa no so no aye short ekufo ado asate wanwie oba no so wonto aso contractors wasate adwuma wo wantu amuka amba ba gi judgment debt now the ujato ukoye super express road uni wa calculate agricultural lands Enfusasia ode sa kwan kofa so no kofa to pay compensation. A kwan cost no calculate a wie. Are you saying we should know what is going to be the impact of Sani Road on agricultural productivity? And then yes, as in yes, and the Igalam say no. Nyaka no so no I be my aduane adi no so de koye kwan. Wa bra kwan no bi o ha bit ma fanasa. What the country needs now is not a super highway now. Diversions, year be makwana ademua. Delays biama. That's number one. The other thing that we need to do is a real development. And yeah, express road, Kumasi Accra Express Road. I think we have better and then Kumasi to ease traffic and you see interchanges.
Yeah.
Amuraga airport runabout Swami. Na kwa besi Sufo line, that ring road, Sufo line there Santasi de no, e kwana no mo ye no. Na Santasi runabout interchange wo ho. And wako Georgia runabout. Back wo ho. Na ko bo ahensan di na ko si Amuraga. And then the ring road, the inner ring road e Kumasi. There is an outer ring road e Kumasi. Sika nanka omudi betua compensation mo mark ade ni nyina out wie no sika betua compensation no ekopie baby fufuro
Kumasi de no
yes ekopie baby fufuro so tuo mo hodo na mo kutua compensation ama mo yes akwan no now we need a second ring road ama makoye say utra adwoso first lady na no mo ye ne wo aprade junction ho ukoro na be fa efrancho so no be see if I say a buakwa side ho so then it cuts around now be see Santase kwano so I think it was just after Kokobin enti ensa da na wo ho nyina am ko make ho say omunyai omo start omunyai no betua
competitions ma
ama bebre hangi on na ekoba say omo diska da kutua so tu mo hode ne emba no and people started going back say omo ye nti amam the second ring road no ekwa I think it's between my 12 and 14 in the Anita Hotel just so echi and a kushasi it goes round now we do a year I think is Mampontin side ho na fe wakusi ahinkro then it takes you to Bekwai Anyangwanta Anyankwanta nti anyankwanta kwana na Kofi Jobo ye no ukodu anyankwanta ha nanka interchange wo what I say that is the ring road no more ye now they be see back to Wenum you have abandoned that you are doing a ring road Sunyane which is good Sunyane dena more ye no so why have you abandoned Kumasi there no and you see these are the things we call agriculture the agri sector there are so many things there. You call up north here campaign. Now be who say go for harvesting rice, or harvesting maize,
beans,
or harvesting yam. And go for yes canto. By day no more by day cost no. Mo day ye no. Because I go says here boka. Enti afei omo de go abobo ye mo come marketer. They can't have buyers. So must they go back.
Yeah.
Buyers are how many a year Wait me, uni storage facilities. Oh, the big one say, what would be the incentive? Say this farming season, you know, maybe you. All right, I say. So I'm just saying, say, Nema or say it me attack them on, and also, and I think it should be possible for us to win. Now, Neomono, Kadi, some per men's meat, a number embrain on what me. They were not supporting Bawumia. I say a bed more BT Bawumia. I got from 2028.
After the contest, who say aspirants ni be afre Dr. Bawumia no abonkomo. My who engineer Kobraja Agyapong there, and my who Dr. Bryan Acheampong, and so call a binmukre ako if you. Doctor Osei Duchum ne engineer Kobraja Agyapong mu nyina akoni fi akwakochi minim other aspirants mu nyina etimi a contact Dr. Bawumia.
Well that I to abano some of them omunya results no omu frɛ no
okay
ebo na baso Dr. Bryan Acheampong frɛ no bo na baso Kobraja Agyapong frɛ no bo na baso Dr. Duchum, a friend no a bonabaso. A Duchum ne Kobraja Agyapong de a makoni fee impo Acheampong. Minim senra Bryan itimiko ya. Ken and so mintie se onokoye. Ya to abani wie no. I declare results no. That was Saturday no. Me kosiada me be Kumasi. Na me wa sorry ko. Nti me ba sorry beda ejamia se beda nipa ne bia omo boaye in Ashanti region hase beda omo ase na je say me go back Friday ifiada but incidentally yi doctor or program bi or UK
okay
or command lecture bi or Oxford or my inviting so my lecture on the 6th nti enra ne bia sa oti ya obunu ketema wakodu English abrochiri enano pay nti the lecture is fourth and he will prepare himself today and tomorrow wakoye adiano on the 6th
okay
and then return to Ghana on Saturday nti bia na oba me sure say omayaka no they mobilize themselves and gather courage to go and exchange some pleasantries with him. Okay. Nipo. Nkugu eya. Now, high hopes, including a sofu bi kura asha won kom se obewene. Na memua. You have certain spirit. Crab bafom. So, some people require some time to regain their strength. And sana umutimi I got that courage to go and do nya what can say what to say binumako if it's not easy. Because I die to abandon kasa me too my baby no na me kohwe constituencies and MSC ko Kumasi me ko Jaiso na mia minu kuma me offer say sticker me do hona up to that time, no, he was in high spirits. Say, ma wini abanewi. I was asking myself, say, in coffee pa, even no munya inspiration from. Going to the ground. And now, nim say, this is it. Now, I don't know. Worst case scenario, a super tip by 3%, 4%, or worst case is what to be 5% cry. You still win, no. I don't know why is that in the air in the I'm on Gideon as the software by Professor Catcher one and I'm hope is obey.
No, Sikade no believes that the job did grounds for now and
grounds no way. No, say grounds for no, say no more sure. And then a fee bear 1 week. So here 1 week till the time I go to Abano. Second, no make us a year, and constituency officers in share ya. And nobody didn't come. Most of them pledged their support for Bawumia, including one more Muchochu Mudin. Essence, yes and no. Yendi, it was support to Bawumia. Then the talk from those circles, those other circles, no, was that a year, one would do 4,000. Grassroots for no, on the police station, no, we are normal number near over 210,000. When you say, Ken, we go to your say, Ken. A fee 1 week to the time, no. So, T Commander na go post no shift. Yes, yo, and NPP for no. MP no. I say, I'm the money Bawumia na but Munko Jum go here, Munko stations. So they had seen say party for no, they were not buying into Asman or Moka. And their failure was Ikujum. So it told anybody, no, a descending and 7 who said defeat was tearing them. But Sabi, you still will have high hopes.
So results need to buy no. I know resource no. Oh, when you been more once over Stephen Amoa and the campaign in the near say abre the campaign muna resource need for by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia winnie won share so constituency and my own backyard. Swami, yeah, a similar thing in them people didn't know. They were determined to capture 6 seats in Kumasi. One in Shaeso, Asokwa, Bantama, Swami, Subin, Measure North, and Tafu. 6 seats in Greater Kumasi. And we sure say, Swami was part of it. In the underground, when they were moving heaven and earth. And so, even though many MP or ABU. So, but I'm in currents and I'm ho. Tina Miss Mama, Mencrofo, and the former MC, the immediate past MC, the current chairman, the immediate past chairman, the constituency organizer. These 5 people, they were also united and going from literal area to literal area, talking to police station for no. And I think eventually we won, even though now. Me gidi say bit me win by a higher percentage. But Bryan factor no so be remu. Emma Krofo anka normally when omo ye adwuma amaye no. Omo so ekura omo ko Bryan ho. That explains why margin of victory na ankoso. Okay. Oh, Swami. But Bawumia still won. And I hope say baby Edru, you know. The next thing is to begin to talk about how to unite the party. Okay. Here pa votes are Dr. Mahmoud they who can now Mama Yargan so can about the leader of your party in parliament say on only constituency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and winning Afenyo Markins the constituency na a bit worrisome kakra de ma would you say was Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia a worrisome leader of the party or parliament in the constituency went to me and winning? Oh, the Afenyo has always been a friend of Agyapong. They are business partners, so apart from mere friendship, no. What in a business? What do you say? And me who say he was striving to protect the interests of his friend and business partner. As to what went into it, yeah. I wouldn't want to discuss it on radio. Me I mean anyway in Shemubi. And maybe when we meet we can discuss these things. Until then, me person can't
wasem radios.
There are rumors.
But I think all that he was striving to do was to protect the interests of his friend and business partner.
There are rumors of Afenyo Markins as the leader of the party because of what happened.
Oh, Mate, but me, what happened? Ma may resign as majority leader. No? Yeah, standing orders, which is a national law. Let's say the leadership, in Parliament is chosen by the caucus members themselves. The party and the then president intervened. Now, as some person cause confusion, my resign here, it was going to result in a big implosion in the party. We are sure Zenka, so I didn't see because at least 87 members of the caucus no more sign it, say they were going to stand by me. Party the former president intervening me in free. That is why I did what I did. And mommy step aside. So I think Bawumia is unminded to do Saadi and say obey intervention in inferior. That is not his plan. And we need to have some conversations, but I don't think because of instigate the removal of the minority leader. I don't think he would do that. But say who say minority leader Monday no as minority leader. Na me jiri say no ye no wanye
so
yes, you represent a group think I want for monko na me and say me I try to call him menya no, but fortunately I didn't you know and only group no nyina that was yesterday omo nyina call because it's the group that you represent and he say omo nyina mpo ni nkran and na enro no so the parliament reconvene so they were all going to be there. Time so benya so mu nyina ni hokro benya the vast majority of the minority for no nanka no mako nanka yefe asa won kwa akọ de anase o ya amana ye individual matter and so individual matter. And what happened yesterday was good. Which team that he led to the place and it was good.
I visited Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Dr. Atta Kennedy and so eka omo edi eko follow Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and then call President Kufo or Dina or picture minim Ruby or Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia person money play a man when the campaign mana.
We haven't discussed it.
Now where say now account.
Oh, I gathered say Ono Kosrano and he was leaving. Anyway, yes, say Ono crap so Okochiano. Just if you don't mind any yanko. That was a conversation that I hear went on. As to any specific role for him, I'm not aware. What we need to say, I mean, they are early days. Kennedy is a member of the party. Sometimes the critics are, many times I don't agree with him. Ubia will be beer. All party no ompe. What I say, but there are many things that we can handle internally. Chance so sometimes criticism maybe a bit more handle internally. And I disagree with him. Not the opinions I was present. Of course, a few opinions I was present, I may disagree with him. If he say then I see okay. What I say, but many times I'll be kind of I'll be own person part and be discussing. Maybe I to write to the party, say this is what I've observed. Maybe I may suggest some name on discussing internally now the quad thing openly doing that. I'm if you say notwithstanding, he's a member of the party and he say if he wants to come on board to help mobilize why not? We need the support of every single individual in the party. Titru omo am ko contest here omo anwini. So any omachitafo. Some of them believe in them genuinely. Obi how koye so ko piska. Bibri omokoye ko piska fi ha. Ngre mi a menkora me no mo so abe ha. E ko pe bi kakra ni aba. What you say? Ebrim koye sa. But obi also na sincerely. Officer send any penny bi kaso Bawumia ne ko bi a wonti me winning intino. Obi na genuinely no. Believe in that. Say, only me when you mind that they make support to people from.
Okay.
What I say? All of them. We need every one of them back. They be make say, yeah, NPP for young holding. Our Ghana within the electorate, you know. Send your research actually, you know. You were about 47%. 47%, you know. MIND in Kunim about Betubia. MIND in Kunim about Betubia. And now we hear floating voters. And they import the NTS say 47 because we a year so better. Why? Share because was say I buy a 2024. I want to 2020. Now amount to am I 2024. No me 2.1 million. Policies beer. Ye wohono yaba no take ye, including for instance. Our domestic debt exchange program. You see a hair shave of individual bondholders in the country. Individual bondholders in the country, no. Omodo do here and pim agoche eduasa 830,000. Zika ewo abayeho. Afa wajin zika na so mfama no. Esi ho a odidi ho kakra so ntimi dua ma. Zika na so mfama no. Aban enya trimodin sem no ye yo. But baby, I need economy. No, man, Aban felt he needed to save the economy. Tell him, but now some more, yeah. Sir, Nipa and Pim are what any duasano 830,000. No, say, Obia were dependent back on Nipa or bonus. Now, Kabumwa, a brought 1.6 million. Akufo-Addo aban yesi galamsey say yinsu president Akufo-Addo ka say wo de na konwa beto ho say obe fight etia galamsey sa de no ye the tempo na ye pa o the fight against galamsey na ye cause almost say yinsu almost say yimfusase ye timadua omo bugu kwa omo hwia omo say asase no ankasa enam enuro a mo de gugu mu ntino afei ko wie na ko dua aduane kra aduane ko dia obeyare the fight against galamsey no nanka eye in principle na ye na mum ekwan fa so ye chichire nkrofo excavators bulldozers ni ehye no ye twajatum enum ni ade ehye nipa ni bio galamsey no second for na ye Ghana for no mo ye no NPP for mu na NDC for mu what you say. And this is NPP for no. Say the bubefu. Yeah. Until you to all mining communities, constituency in Lusunina, just Obuasi East and West. Just Obuasi East and West. Mining communities in we lost them. Constituencies in we lost them. What you say? Until we now have to go back and tell our story. Till I make us say, 47%, no. And then you can say research, maybe about down to bare 44%. You need to win the confidence of Sankrophoning in our back. As an floating voters, not some grabber. And we need everybody in here will be as on board. And this year to be actually. Okay, you'll be a no. Say, Sebe, Akoda, Jonsogu, the Mammy Naswa, and as we get a neighbor, Mammy Naswa, we champion it. Or what you say? Tinia akoso anye ni nyina no. O say fa kwampaso ni sisi fiasem to get everybody back. Na efie ni ya akono a. Afie bondisofo no floating voters no. Oko from say omomra. Omode omontoma abobo ediano. Ene be ma nkudimdi aba. Nyesa ye kone say a ene ye sambe ye be ba na nsansa sa.
Okay. As usual, running mate argument na asan asori biem, debate no asan bebiem. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe, the former running mate ni din asa biem, yourself onso din wom den running mate ibinum nso kan engineer Agyapong obi ka Bryan Acheampong Dr. Osei Duchum say yenyi omnenka omonye running mate including yourself minim one Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia modi running mate honkomo
many animate me can tesi without any sense of equivocation, any shred of doubt, without any ambiguity. And they say, if you ne a copim December, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, me running mate bia.
Free ne copim December.
Enti omo ayete hom penti kwani ya sha ye koto abade chin ya fa wemra no. They should cease fire. They should cease fire. Say ye wi. Say na me ne wodi nkomo yi. Ye wo some conference situations, petty conference in the constituencies. Wamwa the two abeyi omko tu bi ebi na woken say binum akọ Dr. Bawumia fie akọchia no akọbọ na baso ma akọma na moni yo ebi nyesa obi o ha sabi o sunu ho abia o ansa you must allow for time to heal our wounds no then engage them womo nye womo nko a omo chitafo ni bin sema no mo ka no sabe ebi ho na eni enyan what you say. And yet you need all those people. But we need them in the boat or the ship of NPP. And the first thing that we must do, conflict resolution and reconciliation. Party nankasa, and so internally, no, from polling stations here. If you imagine the next month, I be Simono. If I say about 1.5 months from now, polling stations they be twaba. If you have collector area, about constituency, about region, about national. What I say? How do we get it right? Maybe you know, some beba. Any say conference in get no crowns with the beba. You make me see intentem. To put the party in good shape into the battle of 2028. Running mate.
So from now to December.
They should cease. So say be running mate says yeah. Let people take a cue. It's not going to help the party. It's only serving to distract attention. But we are say running mate BRCC. Okay. We'll get there. In the fullness of time, yes. Also, you need running mate. If anything, James, I'm going to about time be. I'm to about 2022. Time be no you running mate. 2024. Who complained? And this is for who complained? And this is for NPP for the. Just a takra with James for the bia. The bia per se another matter ever. It's a Mr. Bawumia's agenda is not the nomination or selection of a running mate this year. I can say so with double emphasis. Nti omo yesa no omo nya na party nya asundwe na ono nya kwan sa conflict resolution no and uniting the party. Enkoso say that is any nebutai say and that is what we are all going to work towards.
Okay. Me say wako kan sembi say MPs are more parliament no enka ye ma omo enko onopose no kre.
Oh, it is answering to that. You see, about what I one of the reasons why ABC losing many constituencies in parliament, no, constituency level. Your course, Remy. I did about when you say, your MPs are no more one call into contest. I'm going to contest. We have lost the seats. The same seats are losing, you know. Ubia MPB are call contest, except one, which is Walwali, and the MPB call contest. Will be two no. Say any pakrono, abegweni amayen. all others are more contesting. We have lost all the seats. And you come down south. But down south, the central region, here was 13. Contesting in Lusu. Now we have only 4. Are we learning lessons from that? Now, as a for America, me a minority, that me a majority, that make us as now. Okay, as well, we lead into also protecting MPs. No, meaning, let's face it. President Oteswa, President Otiakunyaswa, would do 1 term. That's our second term. Yet to Swaba. Oh, President be Oteswa. No second term. I got to Swaba. It was Swaba. I didn't need to Swaba. I didn't need to Swaba. So to Swaba. In the party, no. A bear party go any who put no. What you say? It's a party no anka say ni GD unumudia. And now say Ghana for me GD unumu. And people should understand. Say a constitution ye. And they will be say, oh na MPA anyway anya hwe wa ha. Anyway I say na no me to say cratch biti ye beto aba no cratch biti will take FM. Kyei Mensah-Bonsu nipa smesi Ken the constituency or the improvement about and will be factories or the Kyei Mensah-Bonsu will this say will be a factory crab back home. MP what man go be a factories. Until MP adwuma say. And they will say one could be a factory was swami. Until they can it say okay be 28 years I want to be a factory back on crowd. MP adwuma say will be a factory. We are mrashebedwani legislature. We are legislator. We are MP Papa. You should register in the Hansard of Parliament. I mean, actually say, we are MP Papa. Judge Mensah and my bomb go to the Hansard. I want to say, we, Papa. That's where we judge the performance of members of Parliament. Oko America no more. Congressmen be presidents no. Ye share contributions in Parliament or the Congress and the EU ma be a president. And a year, your friend says, oh, MP no, who could be a factory or handy, a man may president. What you paying? And you see, people don't understand that. Indeed, as a man may can say, no, ya manage MPs no, a moment is no, ya manage 1 year. Neki kriba omumua, meaning ya 87 naka no. Itanya when you at the end, what could do 50. Until I make say, build a consensus. Of course, Abia Beko baby no. That is consensus be because massa. Send it payday. I hint or hano, or no walk for Mudu be amper any mabu. It is a modern neighbor, you be loose. Send it pano. And yes, so you be beer and ye. And I say MP and it or buy ye. A trouble man no more call Parliament in the consensus I will see a view. Almost said MPs. Omejuma ne say sebi omukwa yi ekobo nsa kese ekọ wedding ni nema de na so yen Ghana especially akamemu ha social activities are be part of our culture. They say bibi saba na say eja senya se uni hompo na efro se be support ni enko represent party no na say wantimi anko na bring party no animunyam no wo de ba fom so nti bia beko be bi ne say we MP we sa na otie MP we obe pre no onu obi na ho no betu no obe pre no ka say okofa grade akra be sinye kwan so na odi twa na o ka say wanwie wanye kotakra na o say ye tu abanama na oba beto so ye tu abanama na wonsi ha se ne wano na akwayi uka nti se de ne ho ye hipa o ekwan we sufo de ne kwa obi ne obeto abama no what you say se nye bibi sa no mu dia na onye bibi bone a na enana me stress ye build a consensus or constituencies no. Okay. Na ye retain as many as possible. Ye matwitwitwi ne kiki mamu. De kiki beba no, wo behwe no, e bia no awene. Na ba wene kra no ne votes no eso abafom. Na e ko affect presidential candidate no. What you say? And I'm saying manage. Okay. Sana me can no. All right. And I just man cannot try say ye mu bia anko on oppose me can say. Okay. But at the same time no me can say yen hwe ne yi e de kiki ba mu a. E numbers na kakra na wono wa bia so kra bete. Ndi manage ne ne constituency for no en kai trim pam ho. Na so onye boni bia. Wo kan en ka dia. for the sake of 2028, nanka yemwa as many as possible, no. Enko. That is what I said, and I'll repeat it. I think that would be the best way for us as a party.
Okay, so as the campaign coordinator, no, Ojuma Banawie, and Yensign train say December 2028, Ubesa coordinator, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign, and Ojuma Banawie.
Oh, the campaign, dear, yeah, phase 1. Your phase 2, which is the main elections. Also, transient lessons is from this. So, going forward, how to improve into the main elections. Because, we've been a kind of say, Tatuana system, or the Auron and Preja, a corner, in the way, 2028. What lessons have we learned? We should sit down. And then, of course, ABA, every organization, Accra, campaign teams, how to achieve better results. We need to do reorganization because Dr. Bawumia, a contest here, we be a funny team. Dr. Bawumia so on the team. And I'm hoping he has a 1 or 2 people, we even at the national level. Just so say, who say other people, or most so they are on board, If you have nipa ba community abeka Bawumia campaign and a campaign team no so na be inspire confidence o yento yentwene omo asabiu omo ani da ho am betumi aboa campaign no na asabiu omo wo adwea emudu ha betumi aboa campaign no why not you may include 1 or 2 of them so we may need to reinforce not to restructure but to reinforce the national campaign with a couple of people almost show brilliance, any intellectual ingenuity, any organizational acumen. Na yedi wabe abeka ho na move forward.
Okay. Obe support is say Yense Sankotoka International Airport in Accra International Airport.
Oh, what is the name? What is the name? Sir, change of names now more, me who name first. I don't know. How does it affect the economy? How does it affect the economy? The history of this country cannot be distorted. Angel. Dentina kutukai nidi etoso. I think it was a Nkrumah abaya ombe free ho. So come Nkrumah, he did a lot of good. We never be brand ye. Ema o my Ghana. We never be oye ane yema Africa nyina. But minia, in terms of the rule of law, some bride ye ejma wo memu no. Never be oye so na emfa kwem na emfa kwem. Say a Supreme Court e go buasem ankwa ama no ade chen ye yi omu nyina edi na ya san reconstitute Supreme Court. Eh, which is a nepa na ade ni si yanka beka say. But those things happened. What you say? To have a constitution, to have one man's name written into the constitution, so on a president. What to be paying? In Nkrumah time, it happened.
President for life.
Yes. Oh, anybody become the history of this country as a name be and so many of us. Ya me hunu Nkrumah rule ni yenintino, ne ye be frimu, and paint Nkrumah as an angel. Nkrumah was an ordinary mortal. Oye niema bebre ma omana na ye. Kana medika kano. When emanim bebre eye ema Africa henyina, especially in the liberation struggles. Amode nam sukunya fa ahudi. Nkrumah boa African countries ne pa using in many places, in many instances, Ghana's resources. Ne di yes ade mano. Ye hu kire no so Nkrumah boa ye. But he did well for the cause of Africa. He did well to project Ghana as a black star of Africa. Now so ne nyina echi no, ne me bi ho akoso o manimu a na emwa. Na emwa his concept of developing the country. Or the state enterprises nearby. Like the socialist communist systems. Ye nyina nim the failure of the communist systems. Cause see, abayejuma pa no factory. Obi akomwa. Russia no sanity o. The Russian economy no nenkoso. Enkoso because obi akwa ba bi mu a. Ofi say o say o man dia. On fa na ho nhemu sa. Private enterprise e dey develop o man bia. Tina ne Russia nom, China nom, o masesa ama limited participation of private enterprise in the economy. Into the American say enkroma ne man bi ho a oye ya amwa no. Ano kan bi ne ma yi tu abai no eguye na kutuka who let the regime change, you know, it did better airport also. And unfortunately, ni wu no so ko see e ho and omode airport no e to no. It's taking all this while. So be change dinner. What benefit na the member mine?
Okay.
Now, universities be bro ya you know, I'm some best I'm best change no. I say Ghana for e dia grobi. Wo be sa say wo de ni favor on dia favor on never enter to universities no.
Maybe some more time, some
some of the
universities.
There in yes no. University ben yes no. I can tell Acheampong University no, it was a new university. Any criteria. Any there Acheampong din too so. There in yes no. CK Tedam a new university. Any criteria need too so. The history of this country no, and yes CPP for NDC for go good before so come.
Okay.
What you say? To say okay yes I buy for rubber. No so best no. I say ye go akoto prebi. I won here. Let's think about bold things. Ebeboa omano mpuntu.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, these are petty issues. And they say omano we see in time or
leader, me no ase send obai. Now point round.
Medase akwanya odi amame na mesro me sorry ma memfa sa akwanya yiso enna minuanom NPP4 especially the team Bawumia and the Kumasi ha ye honorable AC in team and we regional coordinator woni na pamfo Dr. Ayu free and also a regional liaison officer and Ojin Semfin Crane at the back Kumasi ha. Then Chairman Wuntumi, who was overall in charge. I'm saying no Opese Bawumia Bendi. Wherever I call your regional chairman, no Epe Bawumia Sabni, the overall first campaign no at the region Eshe Omonsa as the nominal heads, apart from coordinating teams no. Now region bi asani see say na me kan me fa ofidi so and now we must say jumadi omo ye no the various constituencies, various electoral areas, various regions and ma itimidi sa ankonim no na me na the teams no also other campaign committee members for the other aspirants me na omo nyina say omo so omo say du baby ana hit ba omani mu de na ba party mu de now so eventually they were able to control Nema Emma yatwa one de bia yi me na obi ase especially as I've said Bawumia effort na the next step and they say everybody should avail himself to enkabomu nsemo a yede ba party ni mu na yin ntimi kan homom na conflict bia ntawontawo bia ni ntimi enyi mfiri ho for the greater and bigger battle ahead of us 2028. Na yes Emma ya basemu ayiduru ayedin. Tibede obi ase.
Meso medase papa leader yedase former member of parliament for Swami constituency, why minority leader, I majority leader, and I honorable Osei Kyei Mensah-Bonsu.